This is gonna determine whether you make money or not, right? It's two, like I mentioned, it's two things. It's trade management and it's profit maximization. Trade management, very simply put, is what are you doing know that you are in a trade, right? What are you doing? Know that you are in that trade. So I have entered a trade. No, I have got to manage my trade. It's like I made money. No, I gotta manage my money. If I'm not managing my money, what's gonna happen is that money could come in. But if you're spending more than what is coming in, what's gonna happen? Let me know in the chat real quick. What's gonna happen? If I got a whole ton of money coming in, but a lot more is going out, what's gonna happen? What's the result of that? What's the result of that? Money coming in, but more going out, right? You go broke, right? You go broke. If money is coming in, but more is going out, you go broke. So same thing with if you're not managing your trade, money is coming in, but you're not managing it. What's gonna happen? You're not gonna take any profits. You're gonna go broke, right? You're just gonna see money coming, right? You get all that, etc., because you got blue screens. But if you're not taking those profits, if you're not securing those trades, you are wasting your time, right? Just very simply put. So trade management, let's look at it. Let's talk about it here real quick, right? A few things that I would have mentioned that you really want to understand, you really want to do as your trade, as you're now in a trade. The first thing, guys, please write this down because next week when we come back at it again, you gotta have this information, right? I'll put it to write it down, right? Write this down and teach somebody, for example, this information this week, right? So I want to challenge all of you guys on this line. Don't just take this information, but teach it to someone, at least one person this week. Teach this information that I'm going to give you as well, because that's when you actually know if you understand, when you could teach it to someone else, right? Because a lot of times, we think we learn something, but can't teach it, you don't really know it. Yeah. So we look at moving, right? So notice, remember, now that you've entered a trade, this is what the things that you're looking at. Moving your stop loss to break even, right? Because if I, again, right here is that at this point, you can't lose any money, right? Break even means that you end up at $0 and 0 cents, right? That's the worst case scenario at this point. Okay. So, I would rather break even than take a loss. All right. Next thing, we looked at also moving your stop loss. All right. So, moving your stop loss to actually making your stop loss. Making your stop loss is stop profits. All right. 3, looked at securing partial profits. And then 4, we looked at twin trading. All right. I believe that was everything. All right. If you got this, type done in the chat. All right. If you got it, type done. You guys know, man. I hear Danny's tell you guys all the time. She has one rule, when you get on her calls, keep the chat box open. You guys already know I'm going to be talking to you. All right. I'm going to be talking to you, talking to you, talking to you. Right. I'm going to be talking to you. So let me know. Right. Let me know. Let me know if you got it. All right. Let me edit this one here real quick. All right. To exactly what we had last week. to maximize profits. All right. So twin trading to maximize your profits. All right. Cool. So I see the duns coming in. I see the duns coming in. See the duns coming in. All right, good stuff. Good. No. So like I said, let's make this visual. All right. Let's make this visual. All right. So make sure, guys, make sure you got this. Screenshot it. Take a picture of it. All that good stuff. Right. Make sure that you have this information, please. Put it somewhere that you're gonna remember as well. All right. Cool. All right. So let me go through it. First thing we're looking at, like I said, I'm gonna show you guys this on an actual chart. All right. I'm gonna show you guys this on an actual chart and also on MetaTrader 4, so that it makes sense. All right. How many guys are on? If you're on this call for the first time, like put a 1. If you were not here last week, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. You were not here last week. You were not on this call. First time seeing this information, put a 1 in the chat. Okay, cool. All right, perfect. All right, even if you have seen this information, you're gonna see it again. All right, good stuff. So let's go through it. Now, we're not gonna be long at all. Let's be strong. All right. So let's look at the charts. Let's pull up the charts. Let me know if you guys can see the chart. All right, you guys should be seeing a chart on my screen right now. Can you guys see a chart? Yeah, seeing it? All right, good stuff. Perfect. All right, great. Cool. So let's look at this from, it said, very practical. Let's look at GBP USD. Anyone still holding this trade from last week? Anybody still in GBP USD? Let me know in the chat. All right, it should be in significant profit right now. All right, this was a nice setup right here. Entries, you're about, did I say 40 pips in profit? We're about 80 pips in profit right now, though. Sheesh. We're about 80 pips in profit, 86 pips in profit. All right. Well, actually, let's update that real quick in the chat. All right, we're about 86 pips in profit right now. Take profit one is 128,950. All right, 128,950. Yeah, we almost at take profit. 950 is like right around here. We're about 80 pips in profit. Sweet. Love it, love it, love it. Let me look back at the chat and see who actually is still in it. Right? GBP USD plus 85 pips in profit. Boom, bang. All right. Let's see who's still in this trade, because this was a very nice setup. Let me see. Yeah, I move my stop loss to stop profit just in case. Smart. Holding firm. Smart. Good. So we talk about this now. So the first thing, right? Moving our stop loss to break even. All right, guys. So this is a perfect example right here. Let's talk about this. Let's make sense of this right here. All right. So follow me. All right. This is where you enter the trade. All right. So let's say this is your entry. First green line that I just put in. This is your entry into the trade. This green line that I'm going to put in right here at the bottom. Boom. This is your stop loss. And this is your take profit. Right. Your take profit is right around. Take profit is right around here. Right. So let's put that take profit right around here. All right. So at this point, as you guys can imagine, as you guys can see, we are 80 something pips in profit, right? You went about 85 pips or so in profit. All right, good. So, like I said, the first thing is you moving your stop loss to break even. Guys, listen. At this point, if your stop loss is still here and price decides, you know what, I am not going to hit this take profit, right? Price decides I'm going to come right here and then come all the way back down, right? Now, guys, what a tragedy it would be that you were, right, that you were 80 plus pips in profit. Yeah, that's sure it was from Friday, correct. Yeah. What a tragedy it would be that you are 80 plus pips in profit, right? And it does not hit your take profit, but you did not move your stop loss either. And the trade comes all the way back down and you end up taking a loss. Guys, at this point, if you end up taking a loss from this trade, you want licks. Right? In the simplest terms, you want like go on. I don't know how many of you guys ever experienced this, young parents tell you go and bring the belt. Go and get the belt. All right. That's you need to go and bring the belt for real, right? Because at that point, you're playing around with your money. Yeah, you're playing around with your money. That's why I said, management of a trade now. So here's what you want to do. I like this is how you secure your trade. This is how you make sure that you cannot lose any money after something like this, right? We're gonna go through different stages of this. Yeah. So all you simply want to do is you want to modify your trade and take your stop loss and move it and put it where you entered. That's simple, right? Go to your trade setup on MetaTrader 4 and modify your stop loss and put it exact. You can put it either exact where you entered or like slightly above where you entered the trade. Why? Because when you enter a trade, what happens is that there are some commissions that go to the broker, right? There's some commissions that go to the broker. And because of those commissions, right? Because of those commissions, you want to make sure, you could, if you put it slightly above your entry, you basically would end up when the trade comes back down at $0.00. All right. So again, I like to be very visual. I want to make sure you guys actually understand. So I'm gonna show you guys this on MetaTrader 4 right now. All right. So let me come on my phone and I'm gonna show you guys this. So all right. So let me share my screen. Type of one in the chat if you can see a phone screen. All right. If you can see a phone screen, type of one in the chat box. Yeah. I get stuff. Perfect. So let's say, for example, we entered that trade, right? So this is just going to be a example here, right? So let's say we entered the trade, we got in for a bite, right? So we in the trade. When we look at the chart, we could see where we entered, right? Let me drop the time frame. All right, cool. So we could see where we entered. We entered that trade right here. All right, we enter that trade right here. Okay, let's see, this was our stop loss right here, 1.28529. All right, so 1.28529 as our stop loss. Right, so our stop loss is here. Our stop loss is down here. So then, of course, take profits will be above, and we're going to use the same take profit, I believe, from the trade ideas, which would put us at like 1.28953, I believe it was. right? So when we look at our trade, very simple, right? We can see where our take profits is here, where our stop loss is there, and then where we actually enter the actual trade. Okay, we see that here as well. All right. So at this point, if your trade comes back down, boom, yes, you would lose. All right. At this point, you would lose at this point. For you not to lose, for you to break even, your stop loss, right? SL, you see it here, has to be the same place where you entered, right? That's how you don't lose a trade. Now, why I said that, to put it slick, you could put it slightly above, right? By like a few pipettes, whatever. It's because, when you go to enter the trade, if you look right here in the bottom right, you're going to see minus 0.1. That's the commission, right? That's the commission, right? So this is what you want to look at right here. Yeah, that's the commission. I'm not sure what you guys are asking about alligator method. I have no idea what is that, right? I have no idea what is that, to be honest. So this is what you're looking at, yeah? So you see here, you see where you entered. I want you guys to follow me on this call. Like wherever your mind is, bring it here. Just, we're not looking at no strategies. We're looking at trade management, yeah? I want you to focus in here, yeah? So you see where you enter the trade now, boom, you're in profits, right? For us not to lose this trade, we gotta put our stop loss exactly or just above where we enter. Let's do that here real quick before this trade comes back down, right? So when we look at our trade, we can see we enter this trade, modify, we enter this trade, if you look at the top, at 1.28691, all right, perfect. So we could do 1.28691, or we could go just above where we enter, like I said, to probably like 695 or something like that, 696, anything like that, right? At that point, you cannot lose, right? You cannot lose, right? So when we look at our trade, for example, look at where your stop loss is now. Your stop loss is now slightly above your entry. Are you guys seeing that? Let me know in the chat if you're seeing that. All right, let me know in the chat if you are seeing that. let me know in the chat if you're seeing that. All right, good. So with that in mind, if this comes back down, you can't lose, right? You can't lose. No. So since we are here, no, we also mentioned how to make your stop loss a stop profit, right? Like if we move up, let's say we move up our stop loss, no, right? If we move up our stop loss, no, we can then, at this point, no, right? If we move up our stop loss, if our trade comes back down, we secure partial profits, right? We are basically now making our stop loss a stop profit. It means that you will not go into a loss. Your stop loss becomes a stop profit. So let's edit that real quick, right? So let's say we edit it and we put our stop loss now at 1.28. Let's say we do 750 and we click modify, right? So you see where our stop loss is now? Up here. It's above our entry. So now everything from here to here becomes a stop profit, becomes profits. We can't lose that trade. So if this hits our stop profit now, we get stopped out in profit. Hope you guys understand what I'm saying. I want it to come back down to hit it so that we could just use this as an example, right? It's very close, right? So we want to see if it's going to come back, hit it, you know. right? You see where your stop loss now is. So you could consider this a stop profit now because it's above where you entered. So if this was a sell, your stop are good. So we just got taken out. Are good stuff. So now I just want to show you it here. So you see here, for example, that same trade that we entered, you got stopped out at 1.18, right? You made legit $1.18 on that particular trade, right? So if that made sense to you, I want you to love it, Lana. Put made dollars if that makes sense, right? Or to type made dollars if that made sense. Okay, leave it in the chat. Like I said, follow me on this call, right? I take your brain from going else places, from going other places. Where you are, like this is how I function, and how I'm very effective and efficient with what I do. Because where I am there, right? Don't be on this call and all over the place. Like focus in here, because if you capture this, you got this down pat. Anything else might come on a different call, right? But where you are, be there. And where you are right now is on trade management. Yeah, good stuff. All right, good. So I see the made dollars coming in on the chat. Awesome. That means you guys capture what I just showed you, right? So you understood how to put a trade to break even. You understood how to put the trade in how to make your stop loss a stop profit, right? You understand how to do that, right? Right? You understand how to do that, so that this is going to be very, 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 very important for you guys, right? So let me go back here now. Let me go back to the normal screen. Let me see if I can find where. Oh, good. Perfect. All right. Cool. So let me go back here to the whiteboard. All right. So we just did here, right? Moving your stop loss to break even, you lost no money. We just did here making your stop loss a stop profit. So at this point, you can't lose, right? You could only come out a trade with profits. Okay, you would only come out a trade with profits. Now, I see the question being asked, like at what point do I basically make my stop loss stop profit, right? Now, this is where some education, some knowledge and stuff comes into play. But what I would suggest, let me show it based on the chart, all right? Let me show it based on the chart. What I would suggest is, because this is for, if you're absolutely new, you're almost at take profit on this trade. If you are new, wait, hold 1 second, guys. All right, yeah, guys. So, persons are asking like at what point and stuff do you do that? Cool. So, for example, in our trade ideas, as you go in trade ideas, you will see right here at the top of the screen on trade ideas, like we got some signal rules, right? So, this is individual. As you're taking the signals and so on and so forth, you want to abide by these rules because this is going to help you, right? So you've got after take profit one is hit, move your stop loss to entry. That's one option, and R secure partial profits at 20 pips in profit, right? Now, basically, to secure, right? To secure partial profits, there is a number of ways you could do that, right? And that's what I'm going to touch that. No. So once you understand how to do this, right, making your stop loss to stop profit, you understand how to move your stop loss to break even. Now let's talk about this, securing partial profits, because that, you would determine at that point, when basically you actually secure your profits, right? And once again, I'm going to make that very visual, show you guys that from a chart standpoint. All right. So far, I hope you guys are following, right? So based on our rules, we either suggest here after TP1 is hit, move your stop loss to the entry, right? And or secure partial profits at 20 pips in profit, right? The whole idea, right, guys? I want you to grab the principle, right? This is a guidelines, but not like strict rules, if you understand what I mean, right? Like this is guidelines. You gotta have some kind of rules in place, otherwise people are gonna do madness, right? They're gonna do craziness. They're not gonna secure their money, right? So these are guidelines for you, when you are trading. This is suggestions as well, when you're trading. All right. So let's say for example, let's look at GBP USD. That's a good example. All right. So all right, give me 1 sec, guys. Yes, guys. All right. So let's take a look at this trade. All right, we're looking at this trade right here, and we're talking about securing partial profits. All right. So we enter this trade at this point, right? At this point right here, you make 20 pips in profit here. Yeah. So let's see, you went 20 pips in profit at this particular point. Now you entered, right? So we're gonna do this. So you enter this trade at 0.02, for example. Right? Actually, no, let me up it. I don't want to keep your money. You're not keeping your money small. Right? You enter this trade at 0.50. This was your lot size at this point. You enter this trade at a 0.5. Okay. So as the trade went up in a profit, then you see the money being accumulated, right? At 20 pips in profit. So now at this point right here, so when the trade came up to this point right here, you are now 20 pips in profit. In most cases, it would alert you and let you know when your trade is at least 20 pips in profit. Here's what you could do, right? Here's what you could do. So at this point, like I said, you're now at 0.5, you're up 20 pips. So 20 pips by a 0.5 lot, which we know is $5 per pip, right? You are now at $100 in profit, right? You're now at $100 in profit. Guys, here's what you can do to secure part of your profits, right? You got different ways that you can do it. It's up to you what you do, right? But the whole idea is to secure something, okay? Don't be in trades in profits and don't make no money from it. When you get into profits, right, in your trades, secure some of them. Yeah. So it's just like you guys are asking at what point. Well, here's what it suggests. At around 20 pips, secure part of your profits. Here's what you could do. You could take this 0.5 lot size and you can close part of it. So let's say you decide, you know what? Okay, I'm 20 pips in profit and I'm in profit $100. I am going to close part of my trade, and a close part. So you would literally go in your MetaTrader 4, right? And you take that 0.5 lot size and you click close. You go to the top of your screen and you reduce your lot size to 0.25, right? So at that point, you are now trading at basically $2.50. Right, so $2.50. By that same 20 pips, you would have secured $50 on that trade. Right, you secured $50 at that point. You know you made money. That's the whole idea. You secured part of the profits. Okay, you secure, like, whatever happens, even if the trade goes back down or what, you secured part of the profits. Okay, guys, you secure part of the profits. Now, quick pause. Please pay attention to what compliance is saying in the chat, right? Please pay attention to it. You don't want to get kicked off the call. So read it real quick. I must pause for like 2 seconds. Let you guys read that. All right. Read it real quick, because if you're not compliant, then you'll be kicked off the call. Right? You'll be kicked off the call. All right. So let me show you what I just showed you, but from the actual chart, right? From MetaTrader 4. Right? Again, like I said, I want to make sure you guys understand what it is that I'm saying. All right. Still trying to find back the chat box. All right, cool. So let's say once again, all right. Let's say once again, we entered this trade right here. We entered at, we're gonna use the same example. We entered at a 0.5 lot size. We bought. All right. So we're in the trade now. All right. Now, for argument's sake, right? If it goes back up in the profit, we could do it. If not, we just use an example here. All right. For argument's sake, we are in profit of 450 basically. Let's say you wanted to secure part of this profit. Like, just imagine this being blue, right? You wanted to secure part of this, you will hold on your trade and close, right? If you close it as is, you would see at the bottom that you're gonna close with a profit of $6, right? If you reduce that lot size, if you go to the top now and you decide, all right, you know, you're gonna reduce this to half. So you reduce it to 0.25. You see the difference with your loss? You're at 0.75 now with the loss, right? Right? So if you close out 50, you're at $1.50 with the loss. Yeah, you could do that on a computer too. Same thing, right? Same thing on the computer. I just don't use MetaTrader 4 on the computer, so you know, but it's the same process. You could click, you could close down part of your trade. You don't have to close the entire trade. Yeah. So if you are on your phone, again, you could just reduce the lot size and close part of the trade. You don't have to shut down the entire trade, right? You can do that. Like I said, doesn't matter what device you're on. You don't have to shut down the entire trade, but you know at this point, you can secure part of your profits. You don't have to close down the entire trade. So let's say we decide, okay, because like right now, if you look at it, we're actually in a loss of $18. All right, right. So just imagine that being profit. We decide, you know what, we don't want to come out of the trade completely. We just want to take some of our profits. We click close. Boom. All right. So we close some of it. Now we're trading at a 0.5 lot size. If you look here, you see, okay, cool. We would have secured a certain amount, right? At 0.25, we still have 0.25 running. So we secured now part of our profit, right? We secured now part of our profits. Yeah, we secure part of our profits. Okay, so let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if you guys are understanding what I'm saying. Let me know if that makes sense. So your trade goes a certain ways in profit, etc. You could decide, you know what, I want to close part of it. I don't want to close all. I just want to take some of my profits off the table. I'm in profit, so I want to take off some of those profits off the table. I don't want to shut the entire trade. I just want to close some, right? I just want to close some, yeah? So that's how you can go ahead and secure part of your profits, right? That's how you would go ahead and secure part of your profits. Now, again, back to the chart standpoint now, right? We're going to be doing a little bit of back and forth here, all right? A little bit of back and forth here. So from a chart standpoint, we are now here, right? But we are trading, because we shut on part, we are trading at a 0.25 lot size. Okay, so we are trading at a 0.25 lot size. Now, based on your rules, you could decide at that point you secure partial profits and or move your stop loss to entry, right? Boom. So then, for example, price came back down. So let's look closer here, right? So where was 20 pips? 20 pips was here, right? So right here. This was when you got 20 pips in profit when price came up to this point. Your stop loss is now at break even. So if price came back down, the other 0.25 that was running, you would just break even at that point. You would not lose anything, right? You would not lose anything. But if it didn't hit, like how it didn't hit at this point, right? Price came very close. Price came close, but it didn't hit your entry. You would still have this trade running in profits, right? You will still have this trade as it basically continues to go up, right? So now you can see, okay, cool. You know, I got profit. I already secured part of my trade. Okay, I've already secured part of my trade. I already made $50 on this trade. Now I'm in profits here now, right? If you look at it, I'm in profits here now. 38, 40 pips on a 0.25 lot size. So again, let's look at what does that look like. 0.25, right? Which is again, like we mentioned, $2.50 per pip at 40 pip. At 40 pips, you are now how much dollars in profit? Anybody? Let me know real quick in the chat. $2.50 by 40. What is that? In the chat box, somebody let me know real fast. Is that $85? That sounds too little to me. Let me know real quick. Quick math. Calculator. All right, let me do it myself. All right, $100. What is it? 250 by 40, $100. All right, perfect. All right. All right, good. I see the messages now. All right, so you know $100 in profit. Right? So like you can see, okay, cool. I already accumulated so far $100. I already secured the $50 that I had, right? So well, really and truly, you already have $50, right? Because you secured $50 from that first move. All right, you secure $50 from that first move, and right now you are $100 in profit, right? So this is what you're running in now. You're running in $100 profit at this particular point. No, this is where just using wisdom, because at this point, what you do is up to you, right? What you do is up to you at this particular point, right? You could decide, I'm good. I met my daily target. I'm coming out of the trade. I made $150 for the day. That's your hands. Go and do something else. That's up to you, right? What you do at this point, because no, your trade is here, right? Boom. Right? The trade is at this point. So here's what I would suggest. You know, as you get a better understanding of, you know, how the markets are moving, et cetera, you know, this is just a take note. Probably might not understand it in full when I'm done, but, you know, so that you understand, so that you have an idea. After you see like price does this, so for example, price goes up, comes back down, and then pushes up. When price creates a new high, so you see like this was a high, price went higher than this level here, you could easily put a stop loss below here and be good. Okay, so now for example, you see this happen, price comes up here, comes back down, and then creates a higher high. All right, so this area is higher than this high. What you could do now, guys, if you want to bring up your stop loss, so you make your stop loss now a stop profit. All right, so you bring your stop loss now from being break even to putting it in profits now. So you put that stop loss just below this low. So it was first here. Now you put it below this low. Let me know if that makes sense. I don't completely understand how to partially close the trade. Um, Let me know what you don't understand. Because all you're doing is clicking on the trade, clicking close, and reducing the lot. That's how you close part of the profits. Right? You just clicking on the trade, click close, and before you click close again, because it prompts you to click close twice. Right? You don't just click close and that's it. Right? The MetaTrader 4 would want you to confirm, like, yeah, you actually want to close this trade. So in that process, you can reduce your lot size. Right? Right? Cool. Perfect. Right? Perfect. So that's how, because remember, trading view is just to look at a chart. You don't trade on, you don't actually enter a trade on trading view. You enter the trade on MetaTrader 4, right? But trading view is just for like analysis purposes. Yeah. All right. Perfect. Got it. Good stuff. That's what I want to hear. All right. Good. So here now, for example, guys, this now would become, so like at one point, this was your stop loss. Just put stop loss, and you would have basically moved it to break even, right? And at this point right here, no, you move that stop loss from being break even, right, to stop profit. Yeah. So now everything, like I would have mentioned to you guys before, and I want you guys to be putting this information together, right? That's why you're going through it like this, so you can piece it together, right? So it makes sense now. Everything from here to here is no profits, right? So you legit securing, like from here to here, that is that same 20 pips that you're basically securing at this point, right? You basically secure 20 pips at this point. So whatever happens from here, if price decides, you know what, I'm gonna come all the way back down, bam, you get knocked out, you secure 20 pips again. And if you secure 20 pips again at the same 0.25, look, you made another 50 US dollars, which means you came out the trade total with 100 US dollars. This is where trade management becomes important. You're in profits, get something from the trade, right? Get something from the trade. If it doesn't come back down like how it did here, right? Like how it didn't here, then here's what you do. Price pushes up again, perfect, creates a higher height, right? Comes back down, creates a higher low, right? And then pushes back up, right? So now we created a higher high. We can take our stop loss, right? So price is here now, right? So price is here now. We are about 86 pips in profit. You take your stop profit, and voila, we're gonna put it right here. All right. So now our stop profit moves from 20 pips to 45 pips. All right. So you guys following me so far? Right. So you know for sure, you secured at this point, right? 0.25 at, so we know, like I said, that's $2.50. And you secure 0.25 at 40 pips now, which is how much money? $2.50 by the same 40, right? We did that just now. You're securing $100 at this point, right? You're securing $100 here at this point. Whatever happens, you earn 100 if price decides at this point no to come all the way back down here, right? To come all the way back down here, boom, you get knocked out with $100. And we know before we secured $50 already, right? So you made total $150 on this trade, right? So good. I hope everybody's I hope everybody understands exactly what it is that I'm saying on this call, right? I hope everybody's clear. I hope this made a lot more sense when it comes to securing profits, when it comes to moving your stop loss to break even, when it comes to putting your stop, you're making your stop loss, making your stop loss a stop profit. Hope you guys understand that. Okay, perfect. Understandable. Awesome, 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 awesome. Good stuff. All right, great. Right? Great. So, last thing that we would have mentioned, right? And I hope you guys got this information, not this. Hope you guys got this information, right? Last thing, so we did this, boom, buying, and last thing here real quick, right? Before we head into the live trading, twin trading to maximize profits. Let's talk about this real fast, right? Real fast. Twin trading to maximize profits. So we're gonna use the same chart, right? Same examples, same chart and everything. Let's talk about this really fast, right? Hope you guys got this. Hope you guys been taking notes. Because when we come back to this, you know, this is gonna, like I said, this is gonna determine, you know, like if you make money or not, right? If you're not managing your trade, then you're wasting time. You could have the best risk management. I'm telling you, you can have the best risk management. If you don't manage your trade, you're playing with your money, right? You're playing with your money, yeah? You're playing with your money. All right, so twin trading to maximize profits, right? So let's look at this from a, again, visual standpoint. This is your entry. This is where you enter the trade. Cool, boom. You enter the trade at a point. Okay, actually, here's what. If you know, for example, based on your risk management, you were going to go ahead and enter the trade at a 0.5 lot size. As opposed to doing that, right? As opposed to doing that, what you can do is you can break up your trade. You can decide, all right, I'm going to do 2 positions, but at 0.25. Right, I'm gonna enter the trade at a 0.25 lot size twice. Why? Because it's the same thing, right? It's the same thing, right? I decide I'm gonna put one trade in at a 0.25 lot size and the other one in at a 0.25 lot size. All right, so let's do this and let's do it visually as well. Boom. So our first entry here on the trade. We enter, like I said, we enter this trade right here at a 0.25 lot, right? We entered the trade here at a 0.25 lot size, and then we did it again, right? So just using lines as the entries here, right? We did it again at a 0.25 lot size, right? Cool. So again, here's what you could do, right? Some persons, for example, you know, some individuals, especially right? Especially, and let me. This is why I say tell persons this all the time. If you know that you cannot at no time look back at this trade, do not enter it, right? And this was a key that I put on the call last time. Don't enter a trade you cannot manage, right? If you can't manage a trade, do not enter the trade. Okay, if you can't manage a trade, do not enter a trade. I hear a person say, man, I enter this trade and I forget, right? Okay, when we break the trade in half, should we also look for an entry that lowers our stop loss by half on each trade? I'm not sure I understand that question. You got repeat that one or break it down a little further. Now, that's not the purpose of this call, Stefan. Right? Right? And that's why I want you guys to focus. Right? That's not the purpose of this call. Focus here, please. Yeah? All right. So twin trading to maximize your profits. Right? Twin trading to maximize your profits. Now, cool. So like I said, following here. So like I was mentioning just now, let me just before I forget that point, do not enter a trade that you can't manage. Don't be entering trades and saying, man, I forget that it was in this particular trade. How you forget? Right? Don't forget. How you forgetting? Right? Don't forget that you were in a trade. Right? If you do not manage that trade, at that point, anything could happen. Right? If you don't move your stop loss to break even, if you don't put your stop loss in profit, if you don't secure part of your profits, anything could happen at that particular point. Right? Anything could happen. So don't enter a trade you can't manage. So let's say you enter the trade here now, right? We're about to twin trading now. You enter a trade here twice, you broke up your entry, right? And you decide, you know what, I can't, for example, really move my stop loss and profit when it gets to 20 pips. Guys, here's what you could do, right? And here's what I would suggest. Set a 20 pip take profit. All right, you put a take profit here for 20 pips, right? That's you personally. You would put in a 20 pip take profit, right? So that when price hits that particular point, you get taken out of the trade. So like your trade goes 20 pips here, boom, profit, right? Both your trades, you got one set up at, right? You got one set up to take profit at 20 pips. So when price hits that 20 pip area, boom, takes you out. You secured 20 pips on one trade. You got the other one running now, right? You got the other one running. And that one is set to take profit one, which is up here. Okay? You got that one set to take profit one, which is all the way at the top here. All right? You got this one running. You could decide again, move your stop loss. At this point now, you already secure one trade. You move your stop loss, put it on your entry, right? And let this one go, right? Let this one go to take profit. Let it ride to take profit. You already secure profits on this trade, right? You already secure profits on this trade. So you good, right? You don't got to worry. You already got profit secured on the trade, yeah? So now you can let this one go because worst case scenario, what could happen for the other one is that you just break even. That's the worst case scenario at that point, is that you could just break even, right? So let me know, guys, in the chat. Is this making sense for you? Right? All right, let me see some stuff in the chat. Hey, Kay, when we break the trading high, should we also look for an entry that lowers our stop loss by half? If the trade has a 30 pip stop loss in between trade, we will have a total of 60 pips. Right. Yeah, so your lot size will be broken in half as well. So if you were going to enter a trade, right? If you were going to enter a trade at a 0.5 lot size and the stop loss was 30 pips, if you break your trade in half at 0.25, your risk is the same, right? The risk basically becomes the same, right? Made sense, so helpful, perfect. Good stuff. Glad you guys understood. Glad this made sense for you guys. I'm not, listen, guys, I don't understand what it is that you're asking, right? Because we're looking at when you enter this trade initially, right? Please follow me here, right? I want you guys to be clear on this call, right? We're gonna hop over into the live trading in like 2 minutes, but please be clear at this point. Yeah, please be clear. And let me run this one last time for make sure everybody's clear, right? You were going to enter this trade at a 1.00 lot size. This was going to be your entry when the trade was sent out, when you went to put in your entry on in the market. You were going to enter at a 1.0. As opposed to you putting in a 1.0, you decide, you know what, I am going to twin trade. And you enter that trade at 0.5, twin means 2, right? So you enter 2 trades at a 0.5 lot size, which equals to the same 1.00. I hope that is clear, right? So if your risk, for example, was going to be a 1.0 at 30 pips, right? 1.0 at 30 pips, right? Which is, we know in dollar value, that's $10 a pip. At 30 pips, that's $300, right? If we do 2 entries at $5, basically a pip, right? By 30, we know that that is $150, okay? Risk per trade. So the risk basically becomes the same, yeah? The risk basically becomes the same. So you're taking the same amount of risk, just you broke up the positions, okay? So as opposed to entering once, you broke up those positions and you entered twice, all right? You entered twice. So this is what it would look like. So as opposed to you doing this, all right, as opposed to you entering, you traded once, here, boom, you entered twice, okay? And let's say, for example, like I mentioned before, you just decide, right? Especially, for example, sometimes you might have trades that got multiple take profits, and you decide, all right, I'm going to set my first trade at TP1, and I might set my second trade at TP2, right? Or let's say, for example, the trade only has 1 take profit, right? So let's say, for example, you put your second entry at TP2, and your first entry might go at 20 pips, right? That way, you secure the trade, boom, automatic, right? Without you having to be there physically to secure that trade, right? Also, what I do personally, and that's why, like, for example, we get the alerts coming out in the Telegram, you know, when the trade is like 20 pips in profit, I would just put, you know, a horizontal line at around 20 pips. When price reaches there, I would click on it, you know, like, so set this alert. So I put an alert on it, add alert, so that when price reaches that point, when it's crossing, boom, creates an alert, and computer will go crazy, send an email like you would see here. For example, you could have it set to notify you in the app, show will pop up, send an email, whatever you want it to do. At that point, we've got three means of being alerted. If you download the TradingView app, you get an alert on the app. You get a pop up on the screen. You get an email sent to you, right? You got, I don't know, whatever more actions you got here, all right? But you can have that set up that it will just alert you at that point, right? So I hope you guys found value in this. Let me know overall if you did, if you got notes, etc. Then we're gonna jump into the live trading. Right. So this was our trade management call. Like I mentioned, right? If you're not managing your trades, you are wasting money.